The Humane AI Pin was invented by a former Apple engineer. The goal? To help users with all sorts of questions and tasks, ones that other gadgets might struggle with. Whether it's answering tricky queries or tackling unique tasks, this pin aims to be the go-to assistant. It can do just about everything. Answer your questions, play your favorite tunes, and even project a display onto your palm. It's like having the power of Siri right at your fingertips, but with a cool futuristic twist. Now, if you're into tech forums or the like, you've probably heard the buzz about the pin. You clip it on your shirt, chat with it, and just like that, it uses AI to answer you. It's like having your own little assistant, complete with its own SIM card. And get this, there's no screen, just vibes. Well, vibes and a little laser that beams menus and text onto your palm. So you can do things like tweak your Wi-Fi settings or control your media playback. The inventors over at Humane really drove home the idea that this pin is all about helping you stay connected while still taking a breather from screens. It's like, less scrolling, more living, you know? They advertised that it would help aid living in the moment a lot. The AI does its thing by pulling info from your calendar, emails, and answering any random questions you throw its way about the world around you. Sounds lovely, right? But let's get real for a sec. This isn't some deep philosophical concept we're talking about here. It's just a gadget. And like any gadget, it's got its ups and downs. Now, let's begin with giving credit where it's due. The AI Pin really impressed me at times. There's this vision feature that uses the camera to check out what's in front of you, analyze it, and then describe it to you. I watched as a Humane rep gave it a whirl, and I have to say, it nailed it. It described the scene at Mobile World Congress as an indoor event with people all around. Pretty straightforward, right? But here's where it gets even cooler. We saw a content where it spotted the Qualcomm sign in the background and get this. Recognized the Verge badge, calling the person out as a person wearing a lanyard from The Verge. Sure, it slipped up with an extra "the," but still pretty impressive stuff considering the person wasn't even that close to the pin, and the lighting wasn't ideal. The Humane AI Pin has some serious potential. It's like having a tiny smart assistant by your side, ready to help out whenever you need it. Sure, it's not perfect, but hey, what gadget is? The gesture navigation on the Humane AI Pin? Pretty impressive. It's way smoother and more responsive than I expected. Now, I didn't get to put the pin on myself, but we can see it's not easy to hit the sweet spot to project that laser onto your hand, especially since it's designed for solo use. I gave it a shot, but it's definitely a skill you need to practice. The laser projection is surprisingly clear, but it's still light beaming onto your hand. And hands aren't exactly flat surfaces, so the text tends to dance around a bit. It's readable, sure, but not as effortless as reading off your phone. Many people had issues with Humane's marketing on the AI Pin. I mean, it made its debut at a TED Talk. That's like a way to introduce a product that's not so important. Now, according to Humane's Sai Kambam-Pati, this AI Pin isn't meant to replace your smartphone. But hold up, it's got its own data connection, a monthly subscription fee, and a hefty smartphone-like price tag of $699. And they're telling us it's not supposed to replace our phones? This pin is supposed to be the next big thing, but it's more like it didn't meet up to the standards at all. In talking about what disappointed us, let's start by discussing what this pin is supposed to do. Remember we said it's meant to seamlessly integrate with AI to provide answers to your questions. Sounds promising, right? Well, not quite. In reality, it falls short. It struggles to provide useful responses, leaving you feeling like you're talking to a wall. Imagine you're at a market trying to figure out what to buy. You could ask the waiter or just read the menu, right? Well, with the Humane Pin, you can do the same thing. Just ask it, "Hey, what should I get here?" And it'll give you the lowdown. But here's the problem. It doesn't always get it right. Now, on to the design. It's a bit lacking to say the least. It feels like they added fancy tech to a regular pin without much consideration. It's bulky, awkward, and far from discreet. Wearing it is like announcing to the world, "Hey, look at me, I'm sporting a clunky pin." In terms of functionality, or rather, the lack of it, This pin falls short in delivering on its promises. It often fails to provide answers to questions, leaving you frustrated and wondering why you bothered. It's like having a broken magic 8-ball that only responds with "try again later." And let's not forget the price tag. They expect you to fork over a hefty sum for this device? It's absurd. It's like trying to sell a beat-up old car for the price of a brand new luxury vehicle. It's downright unreasonable. Now, on the speed of this AI pin, they say it can stream AIs on demand at the speed of 4. Sounds impressive, right? Well, not so fast. We put it to the test with a real-world example, calling Aaron. And you know what? It actually worked. But here's the issue. It sounded like Aaron was on another planet. Voices came out so scrambled and just wrong. It was a total buzzkill. Also, the Humane Pin doesn't have any apps. Nope, none at all. Even though we understand the purpose was to reduce screen time, it's still like trying to use a computer without a mouse. So how does it work? Well, according to Imran, the former Apple engineer behind the pin, it processes all your requests through AI. Sounds simple enough, right? Using it is all about gestures. Want to ask a question? Just give the pin a little tap. Need to adjust the volume? Swipe your finger. Want to play a song? Tap away. And if you're feeling fancy, you can even pinch to scroll. But wait, there's more. You can also use hand gestures to control the pin. Just hold out your hand and the pin will project a display onto your palm. Let's talk about the mechanics of this Humane Pin. It's attached to your clothes using these magical magnets. Sounds fancy, right? But here's the thing. If someone really wanted to, they could swipe that $700 pin right off your chest. And it would be that easy. There was something else we really did not like about the Humane AI Pin. This projector eats up battery like nobody's business. I'm talking about overheating, battery draining madness. I once had the pin drain an entire booster battery in just 2 hours, and that was without even doing much. Thankfully, it comes with not 1, but 2 battery boosters, and a charging case with yet another battery. With all these batteries, you might just make it through a whole day without running out of battery. But then again, there's always the risk of overheating and shutting down. It's like a never-ending cycle of battery drama. Like most gadgets, this pin can be a real headache sometimes. See, most of the AI processing happens off-device, which means you're left waiting a few seconds for responses, especially if the Wi-Fi isn't cooperating. And get this, it even shut down on me once, flashing a message about overheating. The Humane rep assured me it's rare, but come on, a device meant to tag along with you everywhere should handle a little warmth better, right? When it's up and running smoothly, the AI pin does some pretty cool stuff with language. You just tap and hold with 2 fingers, and bam! Instant translation. I tried it out, and the first time I gave it a shot, my English turned into Spanish like magic. Humane says it can handle 50 languages right now, which is pretty impressive. Plus, it's smart enough to recognize someone else speaking a different language and translate it back into English for me. However, the pin isn't always on point with switching languages. Sometimes it gets stuck in German or French mode, which was a bit of a bummer. Maybe it's just a glitch in the system, but man, was it frustrating when it happened. So you've been using your Humane AI pin for a while, and suddenly you get hit with the dreaded message, your AI pin needs to cool down for a few minutes. Unfortunately, this happens really often, and it's like your favorite gadget has decided to take a siesta right when you need it the most. So, what's a frustrated user to do? Well, if you're anything like me, you might be tempted to throw that overheated pin right into the fridge. I mean, why not? It's the perfect solution to cool down your device in the shortest time possible. Just toss it in there for a few minutes, and voila, problem solved. Right? And here's the thing you should also consider. Testing it out in a convention hall doesn't give you the full picture of what it's like to live with this thing. Can your average cotton shirt handle the weight? How's that laser holding up in direct sunlight? And what's with that trust light that keeps blinking? Oh, and let's not forget about the occasional fibs AI tends to tell. I've got more questions than answers at this point, but hey, at least I've seen it in action now. So what's the verdict? Well, let's just say the Humane Pin gave us a lot of mixed feelings. On one hand, it's kind of cool to have a little AI buddy in your pocket. But on the other hand, it's not exactly the game changer we were hoping for. From security concerns to battery issues. Is it a game changer in the world of wearable tech? Will it revolutionize the way we interact with technology? Probably not. But hey, at least it's something new to talk about at the water cooler. Alright guys, we've come to the end of this video, and if you enjoyed it, do well to click on the like and subscribe buttons. Don't forget to check other videos on our playlist. We've got some amazing contents for you. See you in our next video.